everybody out there. I know you were expecting to see opinions and talk, but my buddy Eric's, I don't know where the heck Eric is. But so I ran into this gentleman playing banjo over the Christmas season at one of the kettles where you throw your money in. And so I thought I'd ask him to come on the show. I used to do these shows, as you remember, some time back, called Talk. And so I invited him on, and he brought his whole crew with him. And this is the kind of music I've never had on my show before. So I'm psyched about this. And rather than to continue talking at this point, I'm going to ask the guys to play something, and then I'm going to talk to them. So guys, can you play something for me?
Great, thanks, Dennis. We're going to kick it off with a good familiar old tune, Will the Circle Be Unbroken?
All righty.
Okay. I was standing by my window one cloudy day, and I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, oh, by and by? There's a bell on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. About the little guitar. And it's a mandolin. Well, I told that undertaker, please drive slow for that lady that you are hauling. Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bell on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. More mandolin. Well, I followed close behind her. I tried to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by
Nice, guys, nice. You know, we were talking earlier, and I thought you guys were like a band that's been together for a while. You sound like you've been together for a while. But you guys just came all together like in, 2 days?
No,
Well,
How does it go?
so, well,
20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes.
These are some friends, and I knew that these people were into music in general and hopefully a little bluegrass influence in their lives. And some of us have been doing this forever. Cathy is a real pro and has played not only mandolin but fiddle. And Cathy and I actually went down to the World Series of Bluegrass Music recently in Raleigh, North Carolina. The International Bluegrass Music Association yearly meeting. And when they say international, they mean it. I mean, we were in a room with a bunch of Japanese people singing and playing this kind of music.
Wow.
I went to down the hall, and there were a bunch of Filipinos in this room. And you just walk around all these hotels and all the downtown in Raleigh, and you've got groups just forming and playing and jamming on every street corner down there. It's just the most amazing thing.
All right, so we have Randy on banjo. We have Keegan on bass fiddle. No? Oh, okay.
yeah, that's me.
We have
Do you call it a fiddle or a
Gerard
bass fiddle?
on guitar.
Yeah, it's technically.
We have Cathy on mandolin, violin. What else you got?
Well, I have a fiddle too.
Okay.
That's a violin.
I guess
And
you
we
play
have-
dobro too, by the way.
Yeah,
play-
my dobro is not around at
Anything,
the moment.
yeah.
And we have Bob on guitar.
He
And
plays banjo too.
oh, you play? Jeez, I tell you. So this is a question for any of you. What got you in the bluegrass direction? We'll start with you.
I've loved music for a long, long time, but loving it is not quite the same thing as getting off your backside and learning how to do it. And so only recently have I started to do that. I played guitar for a long time, but this is so different. The banjo is really quite a unique thing.
Yeah.
And just a little tour here. We've got 5 strings rather than 6, which is a typical guitar. Now, some banjos, of course, have 4 strings as well, but we're talking about a 5-string here, and it's got this strange little short string on the top with a special tuning peg up here that kind of serves as a drone along with what you're doing down here. So it's has a totally different sound, and I think, well, you're using 3 fingers to play on 5 strings, and you're playing music that's written in like 2/4 time. So weird things are going to happen with a banjo because it's just kind of all out of kilter. But it's also got this drum head kind of thing, and it's got the backside is called a resonator, and it kind of projects the music.
It's amazing how loud they
how
are.
loud it is without any electronic amplification. But that's me and the banjo.
Okay, Cathy, you play mandolin. You play fiddle. Fiddle and violin's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, the fiddle is a style of playing that is, kind of goes back to Ireland, and then the American settlers brought it over. The Appalachians developed and their style, but I got into music just growing up in a musical family.
Oh, okay.
And fiddle was I grew up in a family bluegrass band. The fiddle was the instrument I really wanted to play. My sister was playing banjo. You can't have 2 banjo players in a band. There's a lot of rules, by the way, about bluegrass music. Kind of like there are.
One is often too many.
Except for dueling banjos, but it's really a guitar and a banjo, right?
Yeah. So if anybody out there really likes bluegrass music, don't be scared off by all the rules. You just have to go to a bunch of bluegrass festivals and you'll learn what all the rules are. Recently, I sometimes play a little bit of Irish music too, especially in March. I get asked to play some gigs, and I'll do some Irish fiddling. But I did a contra dance recently, and my son here, Keegan, is on the bass, and we discovered the Irish music their rules are totally different. So like in bluegrass, we all take turns, get everybody a little piece of the instrumentation, and I tried to do that, and I got these sort of strange looks. Like, no, what we do is we all play all the time, and nobody stops. And I didn't know that all these years because it was real talented musicians and we're doing melody. I'm like, really? I don't get a break? How long are these songs? This is a dance. About 11 minutes.
So how long have you been playing?
Since I was about 9 years old, I think.
Randy, how long you been playing?
Oh, probably 5, 6 years on the banjo, but
Really?
guitar longer than that, yeah.
What about you, Bob? How long you been playing?
You know, a long time. And it all started.
Well, make
with-
it short because I want to hear a
Well,
lot
I'll
more
start with
music.
my mother, who made me take piano lessons, and I revolted by buying a banjo. She got back at me
Well,
when
that's
she
really
moved down
getting
to
even.
Florida 50 years later and says, "Come and pick up your piano." I still don't play the piano.
Gerard, how long you been playing?
Well, I started off in drums in the mid-'70s, and then in the '80s, early '80s, I started playing guitar. So there you go.
So were you a rocker at one time?
Well, actually, I played drums in South Dakota, and you couldn't help but have to play country. And so I was in a country band, a country swing group that was kind of all World War II vets, and we played in the Elks Clubs, Moose Lodges, American Legion, stuff like that. But then eventually I got into rock, had the mullet and everything, and bandanas all over my body. You know, it was
Sounds
a
familiar.
crazy time.
Keegan, how long you been playing the bass fiddle?
I've been playing this for about 4 years. I started in 7th grade, and I started in 7th grade when a summer program at my school. My mom was thinking, well, maybe I should go to a school and play the bass. But it was electric bass at the time. But then I eventually ended up. She taught me. She's a teacher. Give a hand to her. She taught me how to play bass, and that's where I am today. And thanks to her, I'm
But
a
why
bass
do you like
player.
bluegrass music? Most kids your age aren't.
Yeah, really.
Well, I like it partly because of the fact that it actually takes a lot of talent to do it. Like some of the music, doesn't, it's more about the vocals. I like the fact that you play instruments because I love instruments, and a lot of today's music's more about the vocals than it is about the instrumentation. I love instruments because you get to play the music, and I just love the feel of just being with a bunch of other people in a big circle playing music.
So, in case
I also
okay.
collect records too, bluegrass music. I love the whole
He
genre.
has the most amazing collection of records, especially bluegrass. And having Keegan here and then old timers like me points out another thing. This is an intergenerational kind of thing. You'll go and sit around a campfire at the Bluegrass Festival with ages from like 10,
Oh, I know.
10 to 80.
I went to one bluegrass festival in my life, and I didn't know what to expect when I got there, like I was telling you earlier. And I'm walking down the parking lot to the main area, and I hear this violin going crazy. And it turned out to be like an 11-year-old girl playing it. And I was like, and that got me right there. I was just, it seems like a lot of bluegrass people, they're not just a one-instrument person. They all play different instruments.
I think that comes out of the fact that when you fall in love with the music and you have a little success, it's not enough. So you try another instrument, and then second instrument you learn a lot faster. And then the third one you learn almost overnight. And I would guess all of us here tried at least 3. Keegan here is trying to learn a dobro
Yeah,
next.
I'm learning dobro.
Oh,
and
you're
guitar.
playing the guitar
Actually, I'm
right
learning
now.
guitar now.
There's 3.
Well, you got all the teachers. I mean, you can all teach each other how to play these
And that's
instruments.
the best way to learn.
That's the way.
How about another song? Anything.
That'd be great. We're going to jump down to the key of G here, so we need to maybe.
Is there a lot of that goes on, changing keys?
Well, it gets a little boring if you stay in the same key all the time. So.
As a little note, though, I've learned that fiddlers love the key of A.
Yes, true. and I learned that Irish fiddlers love the key of D.
D.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And second is it.
All righty, what do we got?
And so, we're going to do a medley showing how the gospel music really penetrates the bluegrass realm as well. A couple of gospel songs that Gerard and Dan have worked out here that are going to be I'll Fly Away and Washed in the Blood. And I'm going to try and kick it off, but then get out of the way for you're going to lead sing on this one, right, Gerard? Okay.
Not that I am a singer, but I will sing. And in bluegrass, you don't have to sound good. Are you washed in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you walking daily by the Savior's
guys, and I'm thinking. Well, the guitar players just popped in. I mean, you folks have been playing a little bit together. Now you guys sound like you've been at this a while together as a group, and I'm trying to figure out how do you guys all know these songs to play together. I mean, like you got a list of songs. How do you do it?
First of all, like you said, some of these songs come from a gospel background. So some of these songs I was singing in church before I ever played them in a bluegrass band. So it was a natural progression that, when someone said that I'll Fly Away is one of those tunes they know, that it's just a standard,
So you've all basically played all these songs somewhere before.
Yeah,
bet we
there's,
have.
there's about 100 or 200 songs that we all know, but we may not know the lyrics, but there's only 3 chords. And he'll,
E minor.
Occasionally.
well, there's 7, or maybe
Three-
there's 4.
three and a
but
half.
There's a lot, actually.
there's a lot of
yeah.
chords, but these songs we've done here had about 4 chords in them. And he'll do something like he's playing G and he'll play a G7th, which
Yeah.
our brains, because we all play by ear,
Right into his
will
funky
say
banjo.
time to go to the next chord. When he
So
has
you're hearing the changes.
He's doing some things, and there's some other body language going on. Like when he wanted me to take a break, he was looking at me. Then
Now
he
your
looked at
idea
me.
of a break means a solo.
Yeah, it doesn't mean to take
Yeah.
5 and stop.
Yeah.
Yes, it means the opposite. That's right.
But there's an etiquette that goes along with the jam, and when I was in a room with the Japanese, for example, in Raleigh, it's kind of an international language that we all know.
Well, music is definitely
and
it.
A song leader may kind of tip his hat and point to or call out an instrument that he wants to take a solo, so on and so forth. And it kind of goes on, and it eventually winds down when people get tired of playing it, which sometimes is a long time. But yeah, if we had another 3 or 4 players, we could take breaks all night. And
If we had another 3 or 4 players, I'd be dead.
Commonly, like in bluegrass circles, first of all, I didn't know there were even bluegrass circles around there. I came here in '94, didn't hear of any groups doing musicians. I was invited to one a couple years ago, and then I know they're everywhere. But, in the whole night in a bluegrass circle, everybody will take turns doing a song. In 2 hours, each person only had a chance to put in
Yeah.
2 songs because they're jams, but it's a really nice jam. It's very
And I know
organized.
I noticed old Keegan here was rocking out on that bass fiddle, doing some nice runs there.
Oh, thanks.
Very nice runs. That's got to be a hard instrument. I play bass myself, but electric. And I tried once to play that, and because, some people don't know, but the neck on that is curved as compared to electric bass, it's flat.
Yeah.
Was that hard for you to learn how to play that, to get the being able to play?
I really kind of learned this before I learned electric. So
Oh, okay.
I found it because honestly I like play electric. I play electric too. I have an electric bass, and but because I learned this first, I found it easier, But I mean, actually, because I learned this first, when I learned electric bass, I actually found that very easy to pick up.
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, it probably
so,
definitely
a couple
was
weeks,
easier.
I'm already as good as that as I am on this.
I noticed too the volume on it is loud. I didn't expect it to be that loud.
Yeah, it's a big
Um,
instrument because it's a very big instrument, as you can see, like the air in there. That's basically it's like its own amplifier.
Yeah, really. What are you gonna say, Bob?
It's a great callus builder.
Oh yeah.
I bet.
Take a look at my fingers over here.
And the upraight's cool because you can spin it sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
see,
not-
I can
don't
do
now.
that.
Don't do that.
We'll move that.
Yeah. Don't do that in here.
We'll hold off on that.
All right,
one,
so you're gonna do another
tonight.
song, and Kathy's gonna play on the fiddle.
Yeah, we're
The
gonna.
guitar neck, and you and me are gonna.
Now, the
collide.
question I had that a lot of people probably ask
And can you
with
give
the
me
violin
guitar?
is, how did your parents ever survive you learning how to
guitar.
play the violin?
Hand my guitar to me.
They encouraged me, so,
Oh.
yeah. I would learn something,
Want
and
me
then I
hold-
would go run to them and say, listen
Want
to
me
this.
to hold that over here?
Yeah.
And they would give me their feedback and their critique, and then
Never
I
held. Wow, man, these things
try to
are
learn a
heavy.
little more,
Yeah.
You can hand it back to me. I'll put it over.
and then go
Are you
back
gonna
for
be
some
done
more
with this for the
advice.
night, or are you gonna play it some
No,
more?
I'll pick it up again.
I'll just hang it.
We're gonna get into the key of D here, and Cathy and Keegan showed me the other day a fantastic arrangement of an old song. "Listen to the Mockingbird" is how I know it,
You could go, okay.
and
Yeah, what?
It's kind of their own arrangement. It's in bluegrass style.
Is that the Mockingbird song? That's where two people are singing two different things? That we talk about the same kind of song?
This is not
You'll
the
have to
jingle.
tell us, because this
right.
one has some bird sounds. In
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
So,
it. Nobody's talking though.
so make
Except the
way.
birds.
Yeah, we're no singing here, but we're in the key of D, and we're listening to the Mockingbird arranged by Cathy and
I've
Keegan.
been known to poke eyes. So we're in D. It's gonna go right into A to
Right.
first chord.
Eddie Van Halen, look out.
Here's a woodpecker. One, two, three.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
great.
Yeah. Oh, my
Wow,
God.
girl, you can cook on that thing.
Oh, indeed.
There was smoke coming up your fingers.
You know, I notice I'm sitting here and I just like smiles and smiles, and
Isn't it happy stuff?
this
yeah.
kind of music is just fun. I mean,
Makes your foot go.
I know. I mean, you guys should really be looking to play some places, especially some festivals. Yeah, well,
We are playing.
this is your first live gig, and I had the privilege of having you guys here, so
You
this
gotta
is a
make us
plus for me.
famous.
Well, there is one place. Where are you all from, anyways? Bob, where are you from? Stonington?
Groton.
We're
Okay.
from Lebanon.
Lebanon, and you're from New London.
New London. Yeah,
So you've heard about down by the Riverside Festival
Oh, yeah.
at Riverside Park?
Yep, yep.
You guys need to play there next year. You really do. You would have the people jumping. And I know the woman that runs it, so I'll see what I can do. But
Well, my son is looking for work. Well, he's really looking for money. So the paying gig, he's in for sure.
well, I don't think
I'll
they.
play anytime just for the fun.
Yeah, but this isn't a paying gig. It's an open gig.
Oh yeah,
at-
I'll do
at the
anything.
Riverside.
I want to do anything just to get the chance to play music. I mean, I love music, so
I tell you, for playing only 4 or 5 years on that thing, you've got it down pretty darn good.
thanks.
I mean, you're really walking around on that, and it's not easy to do because it's a fretless, which a lot of people out there probably don't know what that means. But most guitars have frets on them like you see on these guitars. This doesn't. So you got to be pretty close, if not on the money where you're placing your fingers, or it sounds off. And that's a pretty good accomplishment.
He has a great ear. He
That's it,
always
it's-
did.
that's
When
it,
he
it's the
was
ear.
really little, he could match the frequency and hum frequency of the fluorescent lights in the grocery
So
store.
I
and
would-
he used to harmonize to that.
I would like in the future for you guys to come back, and now that we know what we got to do, we can even get more time, because we're going to have about 5 more minutes. So I want you guys to just play your hearts out, man. I mean, I thank you for coming. I wish we had more time, because we could do this for at least 2 hours easily, but we don't have that time. So
Well,
play on, whatever
thank-
you
thank
want,
you very
say
much,
whatever you
Dennis.
want. It's
I have to mention that Keegan is our costume designer also here. He's the one, the fashion conscious guy.
looks cool.
And, yeah, that's the authentic bluegrass get up too.
When bluegrass was first coming out in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, this is the string tie. Many people, such as Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, one of the older bands, and Bill Monroe's and Bluegrass Boys, the founders of bluegrass, they wore ties and get up like this, the cowboy hat and the ties. Some bands still do, and it's interesting. So I decided I'd be honored.
I think it looks cool. I mean, it goes with the fit. What do you actually want to call that? Is that a bass fiddle
I just
or
call it a stand-up bass.
stand-up bass?
Or some
It
people call
goes.
it acoustic bass. Bass fiddle works too.
It's a doghouse bass if you're a bluegrass guy, right?
Yeah, that's at least 5. Yeah, dog house
actually heard
bass.
that one.
It's also called a double bass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
double bass. Yeah.
you should just call it Bessie.
Yeah, you got to name
We
it.
gotta call it Bessie. That's a good name.
Why Betsy?
Bessie. It's because
Oh.
big
Big.
old Bessie.
Okay.
Now,
big bass.
the problem with that instrument is you bring it outside on a day like today, and
You're gonna have your key go from here.
Did you
to
hear?
down there.
well, no,
Yeah,
it
you
takes
see
a
it?
while. It takes a while to settle up.
Oh, no, we got a crack in it now.
A little dent.
Does that
It's a good
affect
dent.
it?
No, not really.
Not
We
yet,
just gotta-
until it collapses, but then we'll have to do
Yeah,
something.
we need
They
a, yeah,
can't-
it needs a bridge rebuild on this.
I was gonna
board.
say they can't be cheap.
Oh, we're just gonna get the bridge refixed. That's all we gotta do. This thing's
No,
snapped.
no, we have to, the whole top.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
The
You
bridge
can
We
actually
need the
is
guitar
gonna
back
keep
if we're going
caving
to do
because of
that.
the top.
you can actually repair them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a,
don't even
Upton
call it a
bases on it
shot.
in Mystic.
Yeah, these aren't just throwaway little items. These are big things.
That's what it is. This is disposable, because for what we paid for it, the repairs are gonna cost what we paid for it. Then we're gonna have something worth what we paid for it. So, I kinda had said that to you, that
Yeah, we're probably
yeah.
gonna get a new
we're
stand.
gonna have to just get another base rather than put $1,000 into it, because that's what it's gonna cost. But
Wow.
there's a really talented bass.
I'll get all the music I can out of old Bessie now.
Yeah.
Is it heavy, Keegan? Are they heavy?
Not really.
Well, look
The
at you. You're
banjo is
not.
actually
You're not a little guy.
heavier.
I think the banjo is heavy.
I'd say this is. What do you think it is? 20?
40,
Oh,
30.
I was gonna say 20, but okay.
I tell you, out of everything, one of the things tonight that I'm surprised at that I never knew is how heavy a banjo is. So I can't imagine you standing up for a 40-minute set
And-
with
and
this
the
thing on your
reason-
shoulder.
Well, at least they have the chance to sit down. I have to stand up no matter what.
Well, yeah,
But
that's
you-
true.
He's not on your knee.
You
That's
get to
true.
dance.
That's true.
All right, let's get some
Pick up
more
some
music in. I don't know. We got what, 2 or 3 minutes
Well,
maybe.
we thought we'd slow it down a little bit and throw a curveball at Cathy and Keegan. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot in the key of D. Can you handle that?
Sure.
This is the first time they've heard this. You know, we
But-
keep our set list
But
a secret
we've
until
heard the song before.
you've
so-
heard the song
Oh
before.
yeah.
This sounds
I
so
played it.
And we'll
cool.
hear it for eternity.
Right, that's
But
right. Even after, yeah.
All right, let's go, guys. We're running out of time.
So, okay,
Shoot.
you're gonna kick it off and I'll sing it, right?
Come forward more, Cathy.
Yeah, right here.
No, that's your mom.
Yeah, I know.
It's a vocal song, or-
Well, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Well, I looked over Jordan, what did I see? Coming for to carry me was a band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Wanna do a guitar? If you get there before I do, coming for to carry me home. Just tell all of my friends I'm coming too. I'm coming for to carry me home. Everybody swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. How about a little guitar? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Perfect timing.